grappling with questions framed by learning, you can get a better sense of what is essential to you. You may regret something that you have done or not done, but by linking yourself with the values and making your life an expression of those values, then you will never get lost. And indeed, you will be able to pass on those essential parts of you to the next generation, who will carry them long after you are gone. Now, as you become more experienced in thinking big, by aligning yourself with your values, you also open yourself up to a world which is infinitely larger than any individual self. It is a world filled with people who can help you become more of what you can currently imagine. I used to think, even when I was back in this congregation, that my life would be marked by my individual efforts, hard work, dedication. However, as the world has become faster paced with many competing interests and resources, oftentimes I have seen that this approach has become inadequate. It's that virtue of rugged individualism that just doesn't match this world anymore. In fact, often it can have a detrimental effect on those around us. There is value in surrendering oneself to the larger world. When I invited my twin sister, Karen, who happened to be married in this church, when Karen came to Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, we had one goal in our mind. We were going to climb to the top. We had done all our prep work. We had gotten all our dehydrated food and extra water in us and fresh Band-Aids. Beginning at 9,000 feet, we started climbing the slopes during the first 4 days, smelling the lush tree vegetation and hearing the bird song. And during the morning, the sun was out, gorgeous, beautiful. And then we'd have to stop in the afternoon because every afternoon the rains came. Sun and rain. Well, when the rains came, we stopped. We ate our beef jerky and our dehydrated potatoes. We changed the Band-Aids on our red, blistered heels every evening just to get ready for the next day. By the 5th day, we got up into the area where there were no trees left, and we began climbing the barren slopes. But by then, the oxygen-deprived altitude took its toll on my sister. Step by step, she barely made it to the cabin at 19,000 feet. So we stuck her in bed, and the top of the mountain was not to be hers. Yet, there was still a chance for me. I only had minimal headache. And there were 3 other people who were able, out of the 15 who originally started, only 3 others that were able to think about climbing the top. So when the next morning the sun came up on the frozen hillsides, mountainsides, there we were, and Karen meekly said, "Good luck, Lisa." So I put on an extra pair of woolly socks and some worn shoes, my hiking boots, and it was all ready to go when I said, "Something's not right here." What was I feeling, and what did this experience mean to me? I answered, this is a novel adventure. And it makes me feel loved because I can share it with my twin sister. No amount of hillsides, oxygen deprivation, not making it to the top would ever take that away. So I turned to Karen and I said, "Nope, Karen. We went up together, we're going down together." So we started our descent so Karen's headache could feel better. We were still on the barren slopes when we stopped, had some water, rested on that ground, and we were silent for a while, and then all of a sudden Karen said, "Lisa, can you believe it? We climbed to above the clouds and we're still standing on this earth. Now, isn't that awesome?" We sat there in wonder, in silence, and from far off a bird started twiddling its song up, 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 up in the higher reaches, and then it descended and became more soft as it ended its range. Yes, we had gone up to the place above those clouds. We had made it, and the world celebrated with us. Now, a lot can happen up and down those mountainsides, including losing well-planned goals. Yet the world is still desperate for dramatic, even radical change. This world still needs us. From Ferguson to the Middle East, from the Arctic to the rainforests, it is asking us to surrender to the new realities. It is crying for those who would boldly climb above the clouds with a positive faith in life. And it's crying for those who have the audacity to learn new ways and to continue to sustain our connections. It needs you to join us. We are all an inexplicable part of a larger living whole in which we participate in its well-being. We are in that airport, commingling with other travelers in creating a world which we want, because we can create the whole, we can create the one. Sharing our connections and the powdered sugared sweetness of life. Then if you listen closely, you will be able to hear not the desperate cries. No, we will be able to hear the growing cries of grateful delight for all the leaping greenly spirits of trees and the blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. And then we will all know not only the joy of thinking big, but also living big to make our own days glad. So may it be. My blessings to you all.